great.
All right, you're live.
Okay, good morning, everyone. I'd like to call to order the meeting of the Audit Committee today on Wednesday, November 19th. We do have a quorum, and we will officially take attendance. In our packages, we received the meeting minutes from March 26th. I hope everyone's had a chance to review them. Does anyone have any comments or questions on the meeting minutes from March? No? Okay. A motion to approve the meeting minutes? Thank you. Second? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Excellent. So in our package, we were mailed out the Bonadeo proposal for the audit planning communication. This is for 2025. We're obviously we have to get ahead of it because year end's coming shortly. Typical package and proposal that we've dealt with Bonadeo over the last 2 or 3, 4 years. How long has it been?
Right.
Yeah. And we have with us this morning Kevin remotely. Good morning, Kevin.
Good morning, everyone.
All right, and Kevin's going to take us through the engagement presentation.
Good morning. Yes. Well, thank you so much for having us. Sam Serdrasny, the manager on the account, is also here with me today. And really what this is the communications to those that are charged with governance. The Nonprofit Revitalization Act, as you probably know, asks the auditors to meet with the audit committee at least twice during the year, once at the beginning of the audit to go through the audit plan, and then of course at the end to go through the audit results. So this is our planning communication that we put together. Now we haven't performed any audit work yet. However, I did take a quick look at the interim trial balance as of October 31st, just to see what has been happening during 2025. We also, of course, look at subsequent events. So we understand through 2020, after we issued 2024s, we reported that back in March timeframe. And there was a subsequent event note talking about a purchase of a building that occurred in January of 2025. So we do have some things to go off of. And what this really means is we sit down, assess risk, assess where things could be perhaps wrong, or items to look more into as part of the audit. And that's essentially what we put here on the current year activity. And there could be more, of course, that comes out of the audit, but this is what preliminarily we know now. The Alliance looks to have a very healthy balance sheet, over $8 million of liquid investments. And then there is an amount on the liability side, including $7.2 million. To us, that means that there was significant new grants that were received during 2025 that we will have to look at. We will have to look at to ensure, should it be recognized as revenue during the year, or should it be properly presented as it is right now in deferred? What are the obligations that need to be made for the Alliance to recognize revenue? And then we took a look at expenses on the trial balance through October. There was over $800,000 in legal and professional fees that we'll need to get a better understanding of and looking at the invoices. So things that you're probably aware of, but we wanted to point it out because I think these areas would affect our audit. Now, just a reminder here, what we're responsible for, our ultimate responsibility is to issue an opinion on the December 31st, 2025 financial statements. We do look, as part of our audit, at internal controls. If there are any deficiencies in internal controls, we are required to report those back to you in a management letter. And that management letter also becomes public information. And in fact, in years past, we've actually issued a letter that says there were no deficiencies that we needed to report. We will prepare the Form 990, which is the informational form that goes to the IRS. And we will also report back an examination opinion on the quote-unquote investment guidelines that's required under the public authority rules. So in years past, we just understand what your policy is. I'm guessing there's no changes in your investment policy. And also report back what type of investments the Alliance is invested in. So making sure that that's in line with your policy, which is what this examination opinion is really asking for. As I mentioned, we have a risk-based audit approach. This is no different than any other year or any other accounting firm. The message really is auditors don't look at every transaction. We try to pin down what is risky and what could misstate the financial statements. The most significant risks, not specific to the Alliance, but in every audit of nonprofits that we perform, is a risk of override of controls. I already talked about the importance of issuing a clean management letter to ensure that there are proper controls in place. And then revenue recognition. I alluded to that in the very beginning. With all the grants that come in during the year, we want to make sure that revenue is not perhaps overstated or understated. There's proper cutoff at December 31st based on the obligations that need to be made in the grant agreements. Our information is included here, both myself and Sam. I just noticed this is the wrong name. I'm not Kevin. But that is my correct email and telephone number. And this is when we expect to complete the audit. We expect to work through planning in the November, December timeframe. And then ultimately we would expect the final December 31st trial balance to be provided to us in the January, February timeframe. That is when we will perform the substantive year-end work so that we're ready to report back the audit results in March and prepare the 990 at that time as well. That's the timeline we've always made. You have an ultimate March 31st deadline, so that's why we always report back to the committee in March. And that's really all we had to speak of. There's other information in here that, yes, we are independent. There's no significant issues or anything that we know about right now that we need to communicate back to the committee on. There is also in your package the actual engagement letters. There's 3. One for the audit itself, one for the 990 preparation, and one for the examination. We really try to keep our fees as flat as possible. I will just say we've had only modest increases over the past several years to account for our rising costs like everybody else. So that is our planning communications. Any questions or thoughts? I would be happy to entertain them.
Are there any questions? Yeah, any questions from board members? I don't think, no questions, Kevin. So this is pretty routine. We really do appreciate your consistency and professionalism in preparing the audit report and reviewing our investments and also preparing the 990. We have in our package a resolution giving authorization to the county executive officer, which would be Kevin, to execute any agreements in relationship to the audit report and the review of the investments in the 990. It's resolution 2025-11-01. Anyone have any comments or questions on the proposed resolution? Okay, can I get a motion to pass the resolution authorizing Kevin to negotiate and execute letters and contracts in regards to the audit? Second?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so the motion is carried. And as far as reviewing our policies, I don't believe our policies has changed at all. There's been no changes or direction of Any new policies that I'm aware of?
No, sir.
All right, so in closing, just anybody have any general questions in regards to the audit? Okay, can I make a motion to adjourn? Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much. Thanks,
Mhm.
Kevin.
Thank you,
All right, thanks
Kevin.
all. Happy Thanksgiving.
You as well.
Thanks.
Thank you.
No problem.
So